First Take, my day job on ESPN earlier this morning, and I spoke about this, and I felt the need to elaborate even further because a couple of people text me and pissed me off, and they know who they are. People close to LeBron James talking to me about questioning him as a father. Come on, y'all. I mean, it's got to a point where this LeBron sensitivity is just beyond the pale. You call him the second best player in the history of the game, you're insulting him because you said he's not the GOAT. You're saying that at age 40, we've never seen anybody do what he does, but pointing out at times how he may not have hustled back on defense in a key pivotal moment, and that's a problem. You give him all the praise in the world when he drops 40, but he has a bad night, and you say he had a bad night, and you're hating. It's ridiculous. But never before has it been more ridiculous than it is right now, because the reality is that we got to be real about what we're seeing when we talk about Bronny James. I am not a person that had a problem with Bronny James being on the court for the season opener with LeBron James. That was a phenomenal moment to see a father on the court with his son who has NBA aspirations playing together for the first time in NBA history. The Griffeys in baseball, Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. were in attendance for it. It was a special moment. My position has always been that should have been the only moment we saw Bronny James in a Lakers uniform this season, because he's not ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be an NBA player. I'm not here to tell you that he should give up his dreams and his aspirations. I think the kid's got potential. I think the kid will be in the NBA one day. I watched him in the G League doing his thing. I think he's going to be fine eventually. But that's not the case yet. And because it's not the case yet, and then you see some of these numbers, I do find myself looking at LeBron James instead of Bronny James, because LeBron is the basketball savant. LeBron is one of the top two greatest players in the history of the game. LeBron has forgotten more basketball than most people would know. So no matter what we think about Bronny, he knows more. But you see what you see. Bronny James has played in 13 NBA games. Ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. He shot 1 for 16 from the field in his NBA career and 0 for 7 from three-point range. And he's playing in the first quarter of an NBA
think it's a little
game?
too hard?
Oh, my God. He's going off.
Really? And everybody wants to look at it, and LeBron has nothing to do with that. He didn't tell J.J. Redick to put him in the game. I get all that. But come on. I'm not being cruel to Bronny. I'm looking out. Do you want it this way, LeBron? Do you want it this way, Rich Paul? Do you want it this way? He can't go into the G League and average 20, 25 and stay there until he's ready? Because he's LeBron's son, you know how they're going to judge him. And before anybody wants to jump on me, remember, I never saw Bronny James play until he showed up in the NBA and the G League. I refused to watch him because if I watched him, I would have to talk about him. And I didn't want to talk about LeBron James' son because I thought it was so unfair to the kid. He's such a wonderful kid. Wonderful family.
So, Hakeem, do you think still Stephen A. Smith is being a little too hard on Bronny James?
I think he's a little bit too hard. I'm not going to tell you he's right on what he says as far as stats concerned. You know what I mean? Like, Carmelo Anthony boy is a beast. The little African boy that's like number one. I think it's Carmelo, the African boy, that's number. Like, he's not wrong, but, you know, we all going to do what we do for our kids. And, you know what I mean? Sometime in my, and I don't think he understand his tone. The last time he spoke, he said, hey, this has to stop. You kind of was questioning him being a father. The way he did.
He
Yeah,
did. He did question him being a father. That's why he went. That's why you saw he went back. That's why
yeah,
I said. That's why I had to do this video because I remember you spoke about like, hey, you kind of questioned him doing a father when we
yeah,
did that tape. And you saw he went back and he apologized for it. Go right ahead.
yeah. Because what I thought he did was an excellent father. You got your son to the NBA. Some people can't even get their son on the job they work.
But at some point, I think LeBron James is kind of embarrassing LeBron James' legacy if you think about it from that point of view. Because remember, he's averaging about 0 points a game, zero rebound, and even in the B League, he's still not playing well.
Oh, shout outs to Gore. But to be
Yeah, I was gonna
honest
say
with
that.
you,
Shout out to Joe, shout out to Gore, shout out to Joshua, shout out to Mr. Muhammad. Blessed be upon you. Go right ahead.
do you think he's for? Do you think he's did, or do you think he's fulfilling his legacy?
He's fulfilling his legacy by having his son in the NBA. Yes, and now that playing alongside with him. However, it kind of just to kind of bring his legacy down a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because like you're such a great player, but your son's not as great as you.
Honestly, I think when men become fathers, whatever dream they had is thrown away. Their dreams are their kids now. I actually think
Gore says both ways. Gore says both ways though.
it's both ways. Okay, for me, I think that just like LeVar Ball, gotta give him his credit. Got to give
Yeah.
him his credit. He's every man's dream of what to do with their kids. I think that LeBron fulfilled what he's done, and he's going to do the same with Bryce. Bryce is a little bit different. Bryce is scary. Ha, ha.
Yeah.
He's getting it
Bryce
in.
is different. Yeah, Bryce is different. Yeah, Bryce Young
Bryce is different. Bryce might be another LeBron, you know what I mean? But I think I had no problem with it. Mm.
But we'll be on the lookout for that. But Stephen A, he had to go back because he was getting a lot of ridicule how he was going too hard on LeBron James' son. As you can see, he's still going hard on LeBron James' son. So you gotta learn how to take strong criticism.
Yeah.
If you're in the basketball league, that's what he's gonna do. It's gonna either shape you, mold you to a great player, or it's gonna kick you out of the league. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. You never miss it when we go live. Shout out to Gore, that's also in the building. Shout out to Abby Wolf.